the farmer has to make some choices. Choice number one is we have to decide what we're going to farm. Are we going to grow corn? Are we going to grow wheat? Are we going to grow soybeans? Are we going to grow something else? Are we going to grow three things and split our land up? What is it that we're going to do? So we're going to look out at the world and we're going to see basically what prices are good and what prices are bad. And if the price of wheat is low and dropping, not interested in growing wheat. The price of corn's going up, there I go. Need to grow some corn. Right? There was a big push for a while, and we'll talk about this more when we get to a later chapter, but there's a big push for a while to switch us from gasoline to alcohol cars, ethanol, to make ethanol. And ethanol is mostly made from corn. So while that big push was going on, while governments all over the world were pushing people to get E85 and to buy cars they could burn, ethanol in a lot of states had 5 to 10% ethanol content in the gasoline that was sold in their state because it would help clean the air. Well, what happens to the price of wheat? All of a sudden, all the oil companies want to buy wheat, or corn rather. The price of corn goes way up. People can't afford to buy corn anymore. All these farmers are switching over to grow corn. In the Amazon, they're cutting down the rainforest so they can grow corn, so they can create alcohol to clean up the environment, and they're cutting down the Amazon. It's a very complex story. But the farmers decide what to produce based on the incentives that are made available to them, and that incentive is in the form of the price of the crop. Right? We want to produce things that have a high price. Then we have to figure out how much we're going to grow. If you have 1,000 acres, is it all corn? Is it corn and wheat? Do you fence some of it off and grow some cows and some pigs and stuff? What quantity are you going to produce? And then what cost? It's going to turn out that the best way for you to maximize your profits if you're a farmer is to cut your costs. And the better job you do cutting your costs, the more money you make. You don't control the price, right? You don't control the price. The only thing you could possibly control is the costs. And so you're going to put in a huge effort to lower your costs. Every farmer in the world thinks they have little tricks that none of the other farmers know that help them grow more wheat or grow more corn or whatever it is and lowers their costs. All right, let's draw a graph. This graph has a marginal cost and a marginal revenue on it. Remember from a couple slides ago, the market generates a price. That price becomes the demand curve for the individual firm. So over on the side here, you can't see it, but over on the left side of this graph somewhere is another graph, which is supply and demand for the whole market. Okay? So that flat line, that red line at $5, that's marginal revenue, and it's the price, and it's the demand curve. Then we have this nice upward sloping marginal cost curve. Why is the marginal cost curve upward sloping? It's upward sloping because we have diminishing returns, right? As we add more and more and more workers without changing the amount of land we have or the capital that we have, we get diminishing productivity of those workers, which creates increasing marginal cost. Exciting? Okay. So you're saying, what's the point? Well, let's look at some points on this graph. So I have the marginal revenue for, this is my little farm, right? This is a graph of my little farm. My little farm. I'm growing some wheat. The price of wheat is $5 a bushel. Here I am. I picked this point of 30. It's 30,000. I just left the zeros off. So if I plant 30,000 bushels, if I plant enough wheat to get 30,000 bushels of wheat out of this farm, okay, I'm going to sell that wheat for $5 a bushel. You with me on this? The price, the market price, which is out of my control, is set $5 a bushel. I'm going to sell the wheat 30,000 bushels for $5 a piece. That's the marginal revenue. So the 30,000th a bushel, the last bushel of wheat, the next bushel of wheat that I produce, is going to get me $5. Well, how much does it cost to grow the next bushel of wheat? Well, marginal cost is the cost of the next one, right? Of growing one more. So if I stop at 30,000 bushels, the next bushel is going to earn me $5 and cost me $3. Do I want to grow that bushel of wheat? It costs me $5. I'm getting $5 from selling it. It costs me $3. I'm earning $2 a profit on that bushel. Darn tootin', I'm going to grow that bushel, right? I can increase my profits by increasing my production. And as long as the marginal revenue is higher than the marginal cost, I can make more profit by increasing my production, by growing more wheat. So I'm going to keep growing more wheat. All right? What if I'm over here? What if I decided when this all started to grow 50,000 bushels of wheat? Well, I have a problem. The last bushel of wheat that I grew, I got $5 from selling it, but it cost me $7 to grow it. This is not a smart move. If it costs you if you get $5 for selling it, but it costs you $7, you're losing $2. You should cut back on what you're producing. You should not produce that. Everywhere that marginal cost is higher than marginal revenue, I'm losing money, and I should produce less. Well, if I'm here at 30,000, there's an incentive to produce more. If I'm here at 50,000, there's an incentive to produce less. The optimal place to be is at 40,000, where it costs me $5 and I make $5. Now, remember, this is marginal. So I'm not breaking even. It's not that I got $5 for that bushel of wheat and I spent $5 to grow it. For all my bushels of wheat, it's just one bushel. This point right here tells me that the last bushel I grew, I broke even on. But all these other bushels, what am I doing? I'm turning a profit on them, right? I'm turning a profit. It's only the last one. These two curves only are telling me about the last one. So again, where do I want to be? The answer is I maximize my profits where my marginal cost is equal to my marginal revenue. Okay? Now again, as you become an econ major, we'll go through some math proofs of this as opposed to just drawing a graph and saying, but there's math proofy things we can do with this. Okay? But this is if you want to get something tattooed which is not a graph on your arm to prove you're an economist, MC equals MR is a good thing for that tat, right? We're going to use that over and over and over again for a really long time. That's just saying supply and demand are equal, okay? All MC equals MR does is tell us to find the point where supply crosses demand for the individual firm, okay? If marginal revenue is higher than marginal cost, I'm not producing enough. I need to produce more because my profits will increase. My marginal revenue is higher than my marginal cost. I'm earning profits on everything I sell. I need to sell and produce more. If marginal revenue equals marginal cost, I'm at the best possible point. I'm breaking even on the last one, so I'm earning profits on the ones that came before. If marginal revenue is less than marginal cost, marginal revenue less than marginal cost, I'm producing too much. It's costing me more to produce the unit that I'm producing than I'm making. I need to cut back, which will increase my profits. So if marginal cost is greater than marginal revenue, I can increase my profits by producing less. All right. Is this a cool looking graph or what? So we have our usual X and Y axis, right? P and Q. We have an equilibrium price of 5. It's perfect competition. So that price holds through the whole world. That's marginal revenue equals price equals demand. We have a marginal cost curve, which is the supply curve for the firm. We have a U-shaped average total cost curve. Okay? What do we do? Whenever we see a graph like this, a business graph, whether it's perfect competition or some other kind, what do we do? The answer is we find where marginal revenue equals marginal cost. And that's this black dot right here. That's where marginal revenue equals marginal cost. That is the point at which I will maximize my profits. Okay? Now, how is this business doing? Well, their margin revenue per unit is $5. Their marginal revenue is $5, and their average total cost is $5. If your average cost is equal to your price, right? If your average cost is equal to your price, you're breaking even. So the price is equal to the marginal cost, right? The blue line and the red line come together. Marginal revenue equals marginal cost. Price is also equal to marginal cost. Price is already equal to marginal revenue, and price is equal to average total cost. That means that I'm not making any money. I'm at a break-even point. When all these lines come together at the same place, I'm breaking even. That's a break-even. Okay? I'm not making a big profit. I'm making, well, let's try the next slide. Break-even means I'm paying for my labor, I'm paying for my capital, I'm paying for my land, plus I'm earning a normal profit. Normal profit means what? It means I'm earning enough money that I'm willing to stay in business. So an accountant would say, hey, you're breaking even. It's okay, it's not really good, you're breaking even. An economist would say, no. Break even means that you're earning enough profit to stay in business. So you're making a profit. When an economist says, again, economist looks at that graph, goes, oh, you're breaking even, you're doing fine. That means you have no reason to shut down. You're making enough money that you're willing to continue to operate the business. Okay? All right, graph 2. Again, what's the first thing you do when you see a graph? You find where that was a bad draw there, marginal revenue and marginal cost are equal. It's this black dot. Okay? But you should notice something different about this drawing. And that different thing about this drawing is that the average total cost curve dips below the price. What's it mean if my price is higher than my per unit cost, my average cost? Well, now I'm definitely earning profit. I'm earning economic profit. I'm earning nice profit. And how do I know I'm earning that? Because the average total cost curve dips below the demand curve, below the marginal revenue curve. Okay? So this point, I know the price of wheat now is $5.50 for a bushel. I can draw down, just draw straight down from the black dot till I hit the ATC. And that's where I'm drawing that little red dot there. That's my per unit cost. My per unit cost is $5.05. My marginal revenue is $5.50. I'm making money. 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 My price is equal to my marginal cost. My price is equal to my marginal revenue. My price is greater than my average total cost. That means I'm earning an economic profit. This means that. Okay? I'm earning an economic profit. I'm earning more profit than I need to stay in business. If I need to make $80,000 a year or I'm not going to keep working, I'm earning 85, 90, 100, 120. I'm earning more than I need to stay in business. Okay? I'm a happy Kempa. Happy Kempa.